Good evening, friends. I am Vismak Shah, and welcome to this webinar on SAP Master Data Governance. So, Stridely Solutions is a 12 plus years old organization. It's an ISO 9001, 27001 organization, and it has a direct presence in India, USA, and Canada. And we are partners with SAP, Microsoft, Automation Anywhere, and Security Weaver. Let's just set some house rules quickly. So the rules will be, I'll be taking close to about 30 minutes for this presentation. There'll be a question and answer session following this presentation. And in the meantime, you can type in any questions that you may have into the question answers box. I'll be providing the answers at the end of the event based on whatever time is available. And if at all any questions are left out, we will be getting back to you over an email to resolve your queries. All the participants will be on mute throughout the event. And this event is being recorded, and we will be sending out an email with a link to the recording to all the participants. So what are we going to look at in this webinar? We'll be looking at why is master data important. We'll take a quick look at the journey of SAP from master data management to master data governance. And then we'll have an overview of SAP master data governance, some key scenarios, how the integrations are, and the deployment options. And then we can have the question and answers. So let's look at why is master data important. So any business, whenever there is any structural change in the business, say there's a merger and acquisition, there's any diversity that's happening in the business, say there's a subsidiary spin-off or a part of a company is sold off, there's a corporate restructuring, or there's a consolidation in your IT landscape. Now, each of these events will inevitably trigger a need for harmonization in your master data. Now we come to some of your business processes. What are the challenges that are faced by these business processes? Whenever your master data is not in the right sense. Your sales effectiveness. When we talk of your sales effectiveness, your transactions driven by your transactions that are driven by your full picture of your facts, they are affected. Your entire supply chain effectivity, your efficiency is affected. Your procurement decisions are down. Your readiness for change is gone. Finance is affected. Your accurate IT resource planning is gone. Asset utilization is gone. Your entire business processes are disrupted if your master data is not properly set. So what do we need? Oh, sorry. Again, if you look at the overall organization, from the financials point of view, your CFO is affected. All that your CFO does is affected. There's risk of non-compliance. There's a risk of slow closures. In case of IT, your CIO is affected. In case of sales, your VP of sales and marketing. In case of supply chain, your VP of supply chain, your VP of planning. Overall, there would be a complete lack of transparency. There would be huge costs involved. There would be a complete loss of potential benefits if your data quality is affected. So what would be the approaches for your master data management? If you are using master data governance, you can either have a central governance and distribution, and or you can have a decentralized ownership and consolidation. Now, what do we mean by that? When we are doing consolidation, it means that from various sources of your data, you bring all your data into a single view where you can do a very detailed, accurate analysis of that data, and you bring in a detailed operational insight into that. You consolidate that entire data, you do a complete deduplication of that data, and bring entire master data into a single view. Then you do a governance of that data. The governance would mean either you create or you manage that data with proper business processes. And optionally, now why I say optionally is because the standard data quality management package is available only if you are using SAP MDG on S/4HANA. You can use DQM with SAP MDG if you are using SAP ECC, but that would be an optional package. It will be a separately licensed package. But if you are using it on S/4HANA, it's an included package. With DQM, you can define your data quality rules, you can enforce those rules, and you can improve your data quality. So overall, what SAP Master Governance does is it works on the standard principle of get data clean and keep data clean by consolidating master data from decentralized sources and then centrally governing that master data. Let's quickly look at some history of SAP MDG. Now, all those people who have used SAP for many years now would definitely know that master data management was always a big issue in the older versions of SAP. So way back in around 2004, what SAP did was they acquired a small company, a very small vendor in the PIM space called A2I Technologies, which had a master data management package. And then SAP started further developing that package. And sometime in 2006, SAP came up with the first SAP MDM package. That was SAP MDM version 5.5. Now, this package sat on top of SAP NetWeaver and used to communicate with other systems using SAP XI. In those days, SAP PI or today's PO is used to be called SAP XI. And it used to communicate with other systems with SAP XI. When SAP NetWeaver progressed, as SAP NetWeaver progressed around 2009, MDM version 7.1 was released, and these are the features that SAP MDM 7.1 provided. In MDM 7.1, we could consolidate and harmonize data. We could deduplicate data. We could do many things. We could cleanse, deduplicate. We could do validations. We could do many things in this version of MDM 7.1. But it has progressed a lot. The progression was huge. The initial version, the version 5.5, was really pretty much nascent. But then 7.1 was a much better improvement. Now, as this progression was happening, along with this, SAP also procured business objects. With business objects, the applications of business objects brought in business objects data services. With data services came in the capability of multiple data sources. Now, this eradicated or removed the issue that SAP XI of those days faced. That is bringing in data from many different sources. What other things that data services could do was profiling of data. It could do text analytics. It could do great data quality. It had fantastic data quality services, and it could service huge number of targets. Along with business objects data services came in another very good tool, and that was business objects information steward. This brought in the capability of data stewardship. Now here, what capability came in was workflows, the capability of monitoring, the capability of analytics. All those capabilities came in along with information steward. And then around 2011, with ECC 6 EHP 5, around July of 2011, SAP released the first version of SAP MDG as an add-on, which could be separately licensed, and it could be installed as an add-on, and it could be used. So if you look at high-level differences between the original MDM and MDG, if you just look at the differences, in MDM, there was no support for HANA. There was no support for cloud. In case of governance and stewardship, in case of MDM, we had to build them completely. Workflows, we had to build using BPM. Whereas in MDG, MDG provides a bunch of standard workflows built in, and it has a full support for BRF+, the business rule framework. For data staging repository, MDG has a beautifully packaged standard data staging repository, whereas for MDM, we had to build it. cleansing and standardization, MDM, we had to build. Again, we had to buy SAP data services separately and integrate it. In case of UI, in case MDM, we had to use SAP Portal as the UI. So it had the Java WebDynpro for UI, whereas in MDG, we are using the ABAP WebDynpro and Fiori as our UI. And for validations, MDM, we had to build all the validations, whereas MDG provides a pre-built set of rules built in, which you can customize the way you want. So these are the basic journey of management to governance, as I would say. And now we can move on to SAP Master Data Governance and how it works, or some of the key scenarios of SAP Master Data Governance. We'll start with the data quality management and how DQM works. Once again, I have put the note right here that DQM is available only if you are using MDG on S4HANA. If you have installed MDG on top of SAP ECC, you will have to buy DQM separately from SAP. And that too, you will have to use most of the microservices in the SAP cloud. Whereas in case of S4HANA, you can use the inbuilt services. And even, for example, the address cleaner for some of those services, the data is pre-built into S4HANA. And you can keep on updating that data whenever you want. So the basic process flow will be that you define the quality. That is, you define the rule set as to how you want the quality to work. You enter the quality, you monitor it, and you finally, you fix the data and you improve your quality. These are the 4 very simple process steps of data quality management. So overall, if you see, the standard data quality management package has got business partner and the product master. Now, these two are the pre-packaged applications, but it has a complete platform wherein your custom defined objects can also be included into this data quality management, wherein you can define your custom rules and manage the data quality for your custom defined objects also. Okay, you can schedule your quality evaluations so that you can do bulk quality evaluations using scheduling. You can do complete analysis of that evaluation results, and then you can initiate the corrections as and when you need. And above all, the most important thing is that you can define multiple dimensional scoring of your data quality. It'll show you scores from 1 to 100 as to how the quality of your data is. Talking of the consolidation. Now, what do we do in the consolidation? In the consolidation, the first thing we need to do is we'll be loading the data into the system using ETL. Now, this ETL can be the standard SAP ETL mechanisms, or it can be non-SAP options also, or we can import the data using files. Now, this data will be loaded into a single view, wherein you will be able to view the data into where you will be able to view the data in the single view. You can standardize that data, you can enrich that data, You match it, you find the duplicates. The system will help you calculate the best record. What do we mean by the best record? You can, once again, based on the rules that are defined using BRF plus, the system will highlight out of 3 same records, 3 duplicate records, which is the best possible match. The system will highlight and show you based on the rules that you have defined. You can review that best match. You can build your validation rules based on the backend configuration that you have done, or the BRF rules that you have built, or the body enhancements that you have put in. And once those validations are done, finally, you can activate that single record, that deduplicated data can be activated. So this is just a quick overview of what I just said. There's a very easy to use UI. The configuration is the matching is configurable. It's a wizard-like UI to upload the source data, and there's a background execution is available. And it's a Fiori-based UI, so it's a very easy to use UI. There's a mass processing available. Mass processing is where you will be able to upload your data using CSV, Excel, and you will be able to edit individual fields after uploading all the data. And then again, execute that data in the background. You can check the status as and when the background process is executing. And finally, the central governance. Central governance is where you will be maintaining your data after all the data has been loaded into the system. Maintain is where you create where you would be creating new change requests. Change requests would be for creating a new master data object, or for modifying an object, or deleting an object, whatever is the request is for. The next step would be validating that. Now, in case of validation, you can also integrate external services. These external services can be any external services that you may need. This can be anything, address validation, or any other service that you might require. You can have approval steps, and then you replicate that across your landscape. Now, this replication can be automatic or manual, the way you want, to SAP or non-SAP systems, and you finally adopt your master data. Now this central governance of master data, if you look at the out-of-box applications that are available, SAP MDG provides master data governance for financial data, for suppliers, for customers, for materials. Now, these 4 are standard MDG packages, whereas MDG for enterprise asset management and MDG for retail and fashion management, they are also available, but these are extensions provided by an SAP partner called Utopia. And these are separately licensed. These are not part of the standard SAP license. So these are also available. These are also equally good. These are also these also fit into SAP MDG equally well, but they are separate. Now, if you look at the framework of MDG is so extensible, so well made that these are the out-of-box solutions that they have delivered: customer, supplier, material, financials, retail articles, and technical assets. But many organizations have, using the extensible frameworks, have been using other objects like warehouses, locations, legal entities, sites. They have made the framework so easy and so extensible to use that you can easily define your own data models. You can define your own UI frameworks. I'll just come to that in the next slide. Well, that you can create your own master data objects the way you want. This is the standard integrated object model. Of course, we won't go much into depth into this because it's quite extensive. But financials, it covers almost all that you need. Material, it covers everything. Now, supplier and customer is shown as a single object because MDG uses the business partner model. So what happens here is it uses business partner as the base model, and then it has the supplier and customer specific data built into that, and then the enterprise asset management and the retail and fashion management. Now this is the application foundation that I was talking about. It has the standard pre-configured data models, which can be extended if you want, or your own data models can be built. Now, if, for example, if you have your customer data model, your business partner data model, and if you want to add your own fields into that, it is very simple to add your own custom fields into that. Adding those into the data model, adding those into the UI is very simple, and there are tools using which you can add them into your change requests. The replication of that data is also very robust, wherein the replication techniques, all kind of replication techniques are available. You can use ALE, you can use SOA architecture, you can use RFCs. If you're using SCM, you can use the core interface, or for CRM, SRM, you can use SAP middleware. Now you can have automatic or manual replications. You can have peer-to-peer or mediated replication. So it has a very robust replication framework. The duplicate detection is again another very powerful feature that it has. It uses SAP Enterprise Search or SAP Data Quality, SAP Data Services as you configure, and either of them can be used for your duplicate searches. The validation logic is again using BRF Plus. It can be used. It can be built. As you all know, BRF Plus is a very powerful engine, and using BRF Plus, excellent rules can be modeled, using which validation rules can be built. Address enrichment is again part of the SAP Data Quality Services, DQM services, and you can use that to improve your addresses. Addresses typed in can be automatically corrected, or you can bring in a pop-up like this, wherein it will show the user what address correction needs to be done, and that can be adopted. Tax jurisdiction codes can be automatically derived using this interface. Again, the use of SAP MDG in context of S/4HANA, wherein it can be utilized for your S/4HANA go live to make sure that your master data is in the right shape when you are going in for S/4HANA. And finally, the key capabilities of S/4HANA, wherein there's a continuous quality management and remediation. There is a periodic consolidation. There will be consolidation for initial load before there's a central governance. There will be consolidation for M&A. You can do central governance only, and there can be a coexistence. I'll just come to the hybrid approach in the next slide, but before that, just a very quick benefit that, for example, if you have your applications across the globe, we know that there are various compliances required across the world. Like in one corner of the world, say there's nota fiscal required, whereas there's electronic ledger required somewhere else, or there's some Canadian Electronic Evidence Act somewhere. If you have centrally governed master data, then all of these can be taken care of very easily, and you reduce the risk and you simplify this compliance very easily. And very quickly looking at, I'll just move a little bit quick, that if you are using it in a heterogeneous landscape, you can have your S/4HANA, you can have your knowledge providers, your ERPs, your product catalogs, or your PLM systems, your business analytics, your CRMs, each of them connecting to your SAP MDG, or with your hybrid landscape, wherein you have part of your systems in the cloud and part of your systems in your on-premise, and you can have MDG connecting all of those systems together. And deployment options. In case of deployment, you can have SAP MDG as a hub system connecting to either your ERP systems. Here, though, we are talking of S/4HANA, but this can be S/4HANA or your ECC system, further connecting to your other third-party systems and other CRM and SRM and other systems. Or you can have your MDG sitting on top of your S/4HANA or ECC. Once again, if it is ECC, you will need bare minimum ECC 6, EHP 6. That's a bare minimum requirement. Anything below that will not work. So these are the two deployment options that we have. It can be a central hub or it can be a co-deployment. So that's what I have. And we can look at questions if we have any. Yeah, there's one question from an anonymous user which says, can you explain how BRF rules are defined? Well, BRF rules are defined. that's quite a, I think, you know, that is something that cannot be explained here. BRF rules can be defined in using the BRF Plus transaction, which is BRF Plus opens up in a web browser, wherein it's a complete different way of handling, you know. So might not be able to explain it here directly, but you can definitely refer to it. There are many blogs and things available, but I don't know who the user is. But yes, BRF Plus is something different. What role does MDM play in CMMI certification for a software company? And there's another question. Is there only one instance of SAP and one company configured? Will MDG make sense to go with or do it traditional way? Yeah, I'll just answer both of them one by one. Yeah, there's this question which says if there is only one instance of SAP and one company configured, will MDG make sense to go with or do it traditional way? Well, it will depend on the size of your master data and how you are going to use it. If the size of your master data is huge and again, what is the importance of it, how it is being used? There are multiple things that we need to consider before we can say that. And I would say, yes, see, the importance of master data will always be there. And it will always make sense because if if the quantity of master data is huge, then yes, MDG will definitely make sense. There's this question that what is the role of what would be the role of MDM in CMMI certification? In case of CMMI certification, I would say that see, master data in CMMI. Yes, see, handling of your master data is again a process, right? So, and again, for a software company, how your processes are being handled, that is again a part of CMMI. And how you handle your masters. Now, this masters can be MDM. Basically means your master data management, and how you handle your data, how you handle your data flow, how you handle your processes is important. So probably I would say that would be the importance of MDM in your CMMI. Any other questions? Yeah, so still, I would say if anybody has any questions, or if anybody comes up with any further queries, questions, you can feel free to get in touch with us at this email address out here, info@swagglysolutions.com, and we'll be more than happy to respond to that.